I, 45 yo am having some issues with my wife, 44 yo f, of 18 years. I've recently discovered some questionable text conversations she's had and hidden. When I try to have a conversation about something she does that's hurtful, she refuses to accept that she's the cause of it. How do I handle this? My wife and I have been together for 23 years, married for 18. Most of these years have been fantastic. About 5 years ago we moved to a new state, and from day 2 of being here it seems we've gone steadily downhill. It's almost as if she's decided she's done with me, but she doesn't know how to tell herself that. I started to notice in her rhetoric and actions that she was starting to push me away a little bit at a time. She asked me to change certain behaviors like work less and be home more, which I did, but her pushing me away kept happening. It got to the point where she even told me she doesn't respect me. We moved here so I could help my family business as my dad's health was in decline, so I worked extremely hard, shouldering that burden, hoping to make a success of it. In some ways I can look back and see I was career focused and not family focused, and can sympathize with some of her points. I think I'm a good husband and father. I love my film dearly. I've never strayed from my vows. I don't drink or gamble. I try to live like what I think a good husband should live like. I'm sure I've failed on some parts, but I try to be cognizant of those failures, fix them, and hopefully never repeat them. About a year ago my family was gone for a week and I started looking through my wife's book collection. Mostly her books about her career. I came across a journal she had done as a homework assignment. I thought by looking through her books I would be able to connect with her a bit more on something she is passionate about. To be honest, I was lonely and wanted to connect to her in some way. As I started reading this journal, it was very bright and happy and reminded me of the girl I fell in love with. I then got to an entry about her regretting how her and her ex ended, and now she lives with regret. This was written 7 years into our relationship at the time. 2 of those years we had been married. I found out that during the honeymoon phase of our relationship she regretted where she was and wished that she had a life with her ex. It hurt so bad to read that. It made me feel our relationship was built on a lie. Shortly thereafter I brought this up to her and asked her to explain this to me, to which she told me it was an assignment and nothing more, and then went on to yell at me for looking through her journal. I didn't even know that I was doing anything wrong. I didn't know that was private. I just wanted to connect more with her, that's all. What bothered me more though is the way she reacted to me telling her that those words hurt me. She had no empathy or sympathy, that I had just been devastated by what I read. Instead she got mad and yelled at me, stating she did nothing wrong and that it's my problem that I don't believe her. Her reaction was worse than her words. I've heard her belittle me to her family and friends as well, something I don't do with mine. Her patience with me when I bring up those things that have hurt me is simply not there anymore. She now says she's over being accused of these things, even though in my mind she is totally culpable in those situations. In the last few weeks it has been brought to my attention that she has had some questionable texting that she has hidden on her phone, which she has become pretty serious about, never leaving it just sitting around. She always has it with her. I know these are red flags. We've had a happy few months now, but I think it's possibly a false sense of peace in our house. It isn't the kind of happy we used to have. I need to bring these recent revelations I've learned of up to her, but I know she will gaslight me and turn this around on me, stating she has no fault, did nothing wrong, and it's my paranoia, ending with her being extremely mad at me for breaking the peace we've had, as that's how it's always gone before. What hurts the most is she claims she never cheats because she remembers how badly it hurt her ex when he found out she had cheated on him, but when I bring up things she's done to me that have hurt me, the empathy for me is completely absent. I thought she loved me. She's supposed to be the guardian of my heart, especially after all these years. I'm so lost about this and am very hurt by it all. I don't know how to proceed. Story 2. My girlfriend's best friend told her to cheat on me. My girlfriend of a little over 1 year told me about a week ago that when she was going to a concert, about 8 months ago, her friend told her that she should find someone hot and make out with them, knowing me and her were in a relationship. My girlfriend told her she wouldn't do that to me. I asked my girlfriend why she only now told me, and she said it's because she forgot. Knowing this, I stopped talking to her friend, and about an hour ago she texted me asking if anything was wrong. I told her I didn't want to talk to her anymore because she said that to my girlfriend. I'm scared now because I know that my girlfriend will find out and break up with me because I told her friend that she told me what she said. She specifically told me not to tell her. She's on a camping trip right now, so she won't find out until 4 days later. What should I say to her? Redditor's reaction. Story 3 after. Redditor 1. Hot take, but I feel like if your GF dumps you for not wanting to associate someone actively harming your relationship, then she isn't mature enough for a real relationship. Redditor follow up, they're both 18 apparently. The GF should have cut that friend out, which she didn't. Redditor 2, this sounds very fishy. Are you sure your girlfriend told you the truth? Redditor 3, you should apologize to her now, not after her friend tells on you and makes things worse for you. Story 3, my 32M best friend 34M helped a woman 24F cheat on the father of her child 1F. Pretty much the title. My best friend of the last decade helped a girl cheat on the father of her 1-year-old daughter, and I'm having difficulty reconciling the person I knew with the person he's being. For the last decade I thought we were on the same page morally, ethically, etc., and he knows how much I hate cheating and associated actions. My own family was torn apart by cheating when my parents divorced. And yet here we are. He helped this girl cheat and is refusing to take any responsibility for his actions. Makes excuses at every turn. Best part is he rents a room for me in my condo. While I don't want to be a complete a-shole and kick him out, I don't necessarily want to be around him anymore. Honestly, I have to have a buzz from alcohol before I can even tolerate his presence. I know it's probably overkill, but that's how much I hate cheating and how much I can't stand the people that participate in cheating. I don't know if the friendship is able to be salvaged, and I don't know if I want to salvage anything. Edit. Wow, okay, so my update post blew up and the comments ended up here. I tried to keep things somewhat vague as I'd give my former roommate or the girl use Reddit. But, screw it. To answer some of the questions, yes, he pursued this girl while she was still in the relationship. Yes, I was involved because he brought the situation into my home before she split from the child's father. This was after I had made it clear that my home was not to be used for their affair. And lastly, this guy and I were basically brothers. We'd been friends for the last 10 years and roommates for the last 5. We were pretty entwined in each other's lives and the whole situation sucked by the end. Redditor's reactions update after. Redditor 1, cut him off. This is the type of person that has no problem hitting on married people and sees cheating as okay. He's going to hitting on your GF wife. Also, those who knowingly help in cheating need to face social consequences. Redditor 2, if you are married or in any kind of relationship, you should drop him like a hot acid. Redditor 3, you seem so far removed from the actual situation that it shouldn't be as much of your problem as you're making it. That being said, it's the people you choose to be around in your home, so as long as you're legally in the right, move on. Maybe you can rekindle your friendship when your values align more. Redditor follow up, it's his right to feel however he wants. You can't judge him for hating his cheater friend. And BTW, he doesn't have to rekindle friendship with a person of low moral value. Update, my 32 meters best friend 34 meters helped a woman 24F cheat on the father of her child 1F. Update, so I know not many people read the original post, but I figured I'd give an update anyway. After trying to talk to my friend through October and the beginning of November, I finally threw in the towel when he started being a DCK on the first anniversary of my father's death. I kicked him out of my place and have had zero contact since. While it hurt to cut off a friendship that had lasted as long as ours did, ultimately I think it's for the best. It's been 26 days since my last drink and I'm feeling more confident every day. I've discovered other friends that have been quietly supporting me and realized they were better friends than my now former roommate. Redditor's reaction story 3 after. Redditor 1, it's amazing how much more clearly we see things when we don't have someone clouding our vision. In your case, you held your loyalty to your best friend above all, and then you were crushed to find out he's not who you thought he was. I'm sure if you reflect on your relationship with him, you'll see other things you let slide that you probably shouldn't have. The cheating thing was your proverbial line in the sand. Chalk it up to experience. It wasn't all bad. The relationship served you for that time, in the way you needed. It wasn't a failure. Keep moving forward, and finding new friends. You'll be amazed at how many good people are in the world that you haven't even met yet. Redditor 2, I'm in a similar process of trying to kick out a roommate old friend that I have basically outgrown. She is so angry, all the time, and my home needs to be my sanctuary. She's made it so unbelievably toxic. She's pissed that I stopped smoking WED, and that I have been working towards education and getting a better job. A real friend would be happy for me to have goals. I'm sure it sucks, and I'm sorry that it's happening to you. But it's good to get people with so little morals that he would help someone cheat out of your life. Here's to the next chapter of yours. Redditor follow up, yeah, same, I've got a best mate and I'm fine with him most of the time, but I was giving him free meals, food, someone to hang out with. He has no TV, PC, or entertainment apart from his phone, which is just fucked, and I'm a drug user but trying to clean myself up, and he's doing the opposite and has been iving heroin. And about 6 months later I started noticing I had pills missing. I take benzos and opioids for medical reasons, and even my WED just didn't seem right, and eventually connected the dots and realized he's just been going through my drawers and it to steal my meds. Whilst I'm asleep, forgave him like 10 times, now I just don't ever have him over anymore, and he's not happy about that. Just don't bite the hand that feeds you. Redditor 3, you know you did the right thing. Curious to how much notice you gave him to leave? I'm sure he acted like an ass the entire time. Story 3, I 22M caught my girlfriend 20F practically S-ing and talking to a guy. Not sure what to do. Something had felt off in our relationship recently. She seemed more distracted, distant, and overall less physical. She always blamed it on life stress and claimed when things got tough, she always just pushed everyone away. Found a conversation by a random guy on Snapchat, and since Snapchat deletes things after 24 hours, I only saw him texting her things like, "Hey nerd, just wanted to know I was thinking about you. Hope you're having a good weekend." She was with me and her flirting back like, "Hey nerd, you too. Be safe." I decided to let it sit and not bring it up to see if I was just overreacting and they were just good friends. Whatever. Last night, I caught a conversation with very sexually suggestive comments. He was calling her things like shorty and go to bed pretty girl, and she was saying stuff like make me go to bed. I confronted her about it and she insisted they were just close friends. Apparently they met online about the same time we met online, but we live 1 hour 30 minutes away. As the convo continued, she admitted to having feelings for the guy, but she chose me. Clearly she hadn't stopped with the other guy though. To my knowledge, they never met up and did anything. She was crying and begging for me to stay. She insisted it was nothing and that she loves me and can't live without me. We've had conversations about setting boundaries and cheating in the past. I feel hurt. My trust has taken a huge hit over this. Am I overreacting? Or is this something to end things over? She's going back to in-person classes this semester, and if I can't even trust her with some random dude, I'd quote will happen when she starts going out and meeting new guys again. Redditor's reactions. Redditor 1, just walk away from this mess. She's not mature enough for a relationship and is seeking external validation through anyone else that will provide her attention. She'll probably grow out of this, but who knows when. Once the well's been poisoned, the relationship never really goes back to what it was. Sometimes they get better after something like this. Boundaries are clear, the person wakes up inside and realizes they need to full commit. But something tells me she's not ready for that. Op answer, it's confusing because I know for a fact she hardly goes out. She's with me most of the time when I'm not working, but it makes me wonder how long this would have gone on if I hadn't confronted her. It makes the emotional bond we have seem less special, even if she is technically spending a lot of her time physically with me. Redditor 2, this is going to sound so harsh, but I would just leave. You don't have her heart, she chose you, but you'll never know if it was her decision or because the other guy just lived farther away. From the sound of it, she's definitely hanging on to something with the other guy, and you don't want to be in that position. She's lost your trust and frankly doesn't deserve it. Op answer, that's another good point. I think she even said I realized it wouldn't work with him because he lives too far away before she said that she chose me. Damn. Redditor 3, not overreacting, this is clearly emotional cheating. Personally I say dip, but if you are okay with this happening again and again, stay. Redditor follow up, it will never be the only time. All relationships get dull at some point. These people will look again for that excitement. Next time they will be using other option to communicate, just not to get caught again. Redditor 4, I'm so sorry this happened to you and that you're experiencing so much pain from it. It's hard to know if things would have continued progressing between your girlfriend and this guy, or if her conscience would have caught up to her, but either way, what she's done is wrong. It's entirely up to you if you want to give her another chance, but this experience doesn't speak well of her. I do believe there are instances where things in relationships can become very complicated. Not that cheating should ever be condoned, and this is definitely flirting, which is on the lighter side of cheating, but there are situations in which it's more understandable. This doesn't sound like one of those. You're not married, you don't live together. I get the impression this relationship isn't years and years long, so there aren't really things tying you two together that would make it hard for her to leave if she was unhappy. People do make mistakes, and she may feel genuine remorse. Do you feel like she's a good person who did a bad thing but will learn and not repeat this? Do you see a future with her? You're still so young that you've got lots of prime years ahead of you to meet people and date and fall in love, so you shouldn't feel trapped. But there's a lot of advice here suggesting to automatically just drop her, and I don't think the world is black and white. She was most definitely flirting, and that's a breach of trust, but if she's truly remorseful and you have deep feelings for her, trust can be rebuilt.